Assalamu alaikum. Uh, this is Dr. Muhammad Sadiq Wahab. Today we will talk about vector indexing. But in this session, I will demonstrate how we can do various types of vector indexing in R. Now, let us demonstrate the positive indexing first. So, positive indexing. So in positive indexing, we try to access the elements by position. So first we'll create a vector for as an example. So let's create a vector where I will use the x as the object name, and less than and minus sign will be the assignment operator. And using the C function, that is also called the concatenate function, followed by parentheses, we can generate a vector. So inside the parentheses, you can give various numeric values if you want to create a numeric vector. 1, 3, 9. So let's just create a list of odd numbers, 5, 7, 9. Now, this is a vector also called the numeric vector. So if I want to generate this, I need to run it. I can click run, or I can also use control plus enter to run this line. So now you can see that in the global environment, you have created an X object that is a numeric vector. So in order to check what is the type of this vector, you can use type of command and hit X, hit control enter to see whether it is numeric. So the double is also a numeric type in R, or there is also another function that is class, and you can check the class of X that will give you the general category of this numeric object, that is numeric. So both functions can be used. So this is just for the demonstration. Let's move ahead. So if we see that this first one is in the first position, 3 is in the second position, 9 is in the last position, that is the fifth position. So in case of positive indexing, what we can do is we can actually write X, and then we will use square brackets. And inside the square brackets, we need to write the position. So if you want to access the second element, that is 3, you need to write 2 here to show its position to R. Now, if I press Control plus Enter, you will see that this command will give me the output 3. You can look at the console box and see it prints 3, that is the second element of X. So similarly, you can also use multiple or sequence or multiple uh, positions. For example, I want to extract 1, 3rd, and 5th position. So I need to give inside the square brackets a vector of these positions. So 1, 3, and 5th. And if I press enter, it will return 1, 5, and 9. So remember that 1 is in the first position, 5 is in the third position, and 9 is in the fifth position. So all three values will be printed. You can also use a sequence. So in order to create a sequence in R, you can just use this simple command where suppose I want to access first 4 elements in X. So I will write 1 colon 4. Now let me just show you what would be the sequence look like. So if I run this command, you will see that in the console, it has generated a sequence from 1 to 4. So I just need to supply this sequence inside the square brackets. And this way, I will be able to access first 4 elements of this vector, that is a numeric vector. So you see that in the console, the first 4 elements are printed. Okay, now let's talk about the negative index. So in negative indexing, you can exclude the elements. For example, if you want to exclude the first element, just use the same syntax, x followed by square brackets. And inside the square brackets, you need to write the position of the element that you want to exclude. So suppose we want to exclude the first element, -1. So this will exclude the first element, but the output would contain the remaining 4 elements. So let me just run it. And you can see that in the output, the last 4 elements of the x vector are printed. It means that the first element is excluded. Okay. So similarly, you can exclude multiple elements. You can also exclude multiple elements. So in order to exclude multiple elements, you just need to supply the vector, but the vector, first let's supply the vector of values that you want to exclude. So suppose I want to exclude the first and the last or fifth element of this vector. Okay, so but because I want to exclude it, I need to write minus sign before the vector. So let me just hit Control plus Enter to run the command, and you can see that in the output, first and fifth element are excluded from the output. Now I can also give it a sequence as before. Now you can also exclude the sequence elements through sequence. So you can also give it a sequence. So instead of writing this, you can write 1, 2, 3. So to exclude the first 3 elements, and sorry, you need to write the brackets here as well. And you can see that the first 3 elements are excluded and the remaining 2 are printed. Now let's talk about the logical indexing now. In the logical indexing, you can actually use a logical condition to extract the values from that vector. So this x contains 5 numeric values. So if I suppose you want to extract all those values that are greater than 5. So inside, as before, you will write x and then square brackets, and inside the square brackets you will write the condition. So all the values of x that are greater than 5. So if you put this condition inside the square bracket, it will actually print the values that are greater than 9. So you can use other logical conditions as well. Suppose if you want to see, if you want to extract all those values that are equal to 5, you can also do that. But in order to give this, an equal to operator to R, you need to write equal sign 2 times. Now just remember that a single equal sign is an assignment operator. So you need to write equal sign 2 times. Now let's just hit Control plus Enter and see the output would be 5 only, because it is actually printing all those values of x that are equal to 5. So now if there are multiple 5s, all of these values will be printed. There are other logical operators as well. You can use less than 5 operator. So all the values which are less than 5, that is 1 and 3 in your vector, will be printed. Or you can also use the x greater than or equal to 5. So it will also include 5 now, as you can see. And similarly, you can use a less than or equal to operator to include 5 in the first 3 elements that are less than 5. Now you can also use a logical condition that is not equal to. So in order to do that, you need to write an exclamation mark, that is shift 1, before the equal sign. Now, this is a not equal to operator in R, so it will print all the values of x that are that are not equal to 5. So you know that the values that are not equal to 5 in x are 1, 3, 7, and 9. So if you press Control plus Enter, you will see that the output is 1379 and 5 is automatically excluded. Now, you can also replace elements in X using these different types of indexing. So, for example, if you want to replace, so let me just copy this code again so you know that, and you remember that there is which value is in what position in X vector. So suppose I want to extract, or I want to replace this second element in X, that is 3, and I want to replace it with some negative number that say minus 99. Now, first I need to access that. So first I will use the positive indexing, X followed by square root, square brackets, and inside the square brackets, I will use 2. Now this code will access the second element of X, and using the assignment operator after it, you can assign any assignment to this second position. So because we want to replace it with negative 99, so I will just write minus 99, and this new assignment will be replacing the second element of X. So let me just hit enter, and you will see that the command is run. And now let me reprint X. Now I just need to write X and hit Control plus Enter, and you can see that the new vector X now contains minus 99 in its second position. So all these types of indexing can be used to replace elements in X. In the future, I will come with more examples